Welcome to Full Scope, a podcast designed to analyze the games that we love, the headlines of music, and the movies we can't forget. I'm your host, Winter Burns, and my counterpart, Savon Morris. How's it going?
What's going on, man? It's a good day. It's a good day to do some
Yeah, man,
podcasting.
absolutely. And we have a lot of topics to get into, as usual. Obviously, some NFL ones, as we're just literally a couple weeks from the season starting. NBA topics, and we're going to do some album reviews in the second half. We're going to do a review of the new John Football documentary. To start off with thoughts on the Colts giving Jonathan Taylor permission to seek a trade. This recent news is also combined with the fact that Indianapolis will be seeking significant trade compensation, and the team is looking for a first round draft pick. We mentioned a couple episodes ago about the dispute with Jonathan Taylor and Jim Irsay, what that was going to cause, and now they're finally letting him have what he wants to do, have his way. What did you think about this update and just what this means for him going forward?
I think it's bad news for him, to be
Yeah,
completely honest with you. Just looking at this is the worst thing he could want is a trade from the Colts. I think he should have played out this year. Just looking at what the Colts were going through last year, 4-12, they were third in the AFC South. It just didn't look like they were going to be a good team last year from the jump. Even with Matt Ryan even said it was
yeah,
an S show. But just looking at the running game, I knew Jonathan Taylor is a great running back, but looking at the running game, they were 23rd in the league, and there's not like they were the top 10
right,
in rushing. But now you're looking at a situation they're not going to value with the money. They're not going to pay you. They want you to play it out. Now, if you do find a team that's going to see your value, now they're going to have to pay a hand in a dollar just to get you in draft picks, and that's what the coach wanted to do in the beginning. So I don't think a team is going to be enticed enough with a running game that they average 109 yards. It's
yeah,
really good, but I don't see any other team giving up a first round pick for Jonathan Taylor when running backs, like we talked about the last couple of
hmm
podcasts, that running backs are
value.
so often, yeah, devalue, and they get drafted. They free agent guys pop up out of nowhere, just like Jonathan Taylor popped out of nowhere. We didn't know he was going to transpire to be this elusive running back in the NFL. Yeah, he was good in college, but we didn't know it was going to transfer
Yeah,
into the NFL. But now he's in a bad position. I don't think any organization is going to give up a first round draft pick for him, and it's sad. He's going to have to stay, tough it out, and show his value and show why they should have paid him and why a team should have got a draft pick for him. But it's a sticky situation for Jonathan Taylor. He's going to suck
yeah.
it up.
It really is, because a lot of times in these situations, these players eventually do get what they want. I mean, the requests is granted, but then they're like, okay, this is actually not what I what I wanted to happen. I'm gonna really have to show what my worth is and value. So that's gonna be really interesting to see how that plays out for him. But now moving on to the Ravens' expectations and just how they could do this year. It's interesting because a lot of times teams are picked like before the season. There's like a trendy pick. Like last year, it was the Bills. Everybody was on the Bills train. Now it seems like a lot of teams are
Yeah.
on the Ravens train, and they're really kind of just really high on what this team could potentially do. They're obviously going to be in the mix. And the addition of Odell, along with getting Zay Flowers, was really critical. And plus getting a new offensive coordinator. But what do you realistically envision for this team? Because they're going to be in a pack division as always. The Bengals are still going to be a threat. But overall, how do you see this team faring out this year?
Well, yeah, the hype is on. Robert Griffin III is
Ryan
talking
Clark.
about a former player
Well,
for the Ryan Clark is talking about it. It was a lot of speculation. So this is the beauty about it. It was a lot of speculation of if they're going to sign Lamar Jackson, what are they doing? Are they going to add more pieces? Is Lamar going to come back? Where is
yeah,
Lamar going to go? There was a lot of speculation in the offseason that this was not going to even come to fruition of people, spectators and fans are gaining
yeah,
excited about the Baltimore Ravens season. So now we look at it as, okay, Lamar Jackson got his contract. You signed Odell Beckham Jr. You get some difference of pieces. You just signed Jadeveon Clowney to the defense. So it's looking good for them. They I think on paper they look good. And I think this year I'm looking for what Lamar Jackson can do more. I want him to see him to be a better pocket passer. There's a lot of hoorah. Obviously, this team is going to be exciting. They're gonna
yeah,
run a lot. They're gonna obviously get that one-on-one on the outside with OBJ because they run a lot and tight end dumps a lot of that. So they're going to spring it around a little bit. They have a spread offense now. They have a new offensive coordinator. But I want to see Lamar Jackson be a better pocket passer. I want them to be a defense to be threatened by
Yeah.
your passing game. Yeah, they're going to come down. They're going to stack the box. A lot of cover 3, probably cover 0
Mhm.
zone. And force you to throw the ball. I want him to take that out the window. I want
Fear
them
him.
to be
Yeah.
afraid of his fear him of his passing game. But I'm on the bandwagon too. Just looking at what they have done, they had a deep ball threat. Hollywood dropped a lot of passes during his tenure with the Ravens, and I think it was mostly him. But I think with OBJ and the extended of running backs and everybody's healthy, I think this offense is going to be crazy. The defense, I think,
It
is
really
going
is.
to take some time to get acclimated. They're going to be good now, but I think it's going to take like 3 or 4 games for them to buy in and solidify themselves as one of the top defenses in the NFL. But the offense is going to be straight out the gate. It's
Yeah.
going to be fun. But if I can nitpick and if I can think about what I want to see from the Ravens and Lamar Jackson, is that pocket presence. It's that becoming a fear with your arm. And I think Ben Roethlisberger said it. Like, people don't fear his arm. They will.
Give it time.
They
Give it
will.
time.
And I got a
Yeah.
hunch on it.
Absolutely. We know what Lamar Jackson could be, and that's why every year when, like,
Yeah.
think about it, they almost beat the Bengals without him, and that shows you how tough of a
Yes.
team, like how, how good of a team, well coached team that was. Like we forget about it, but that was an extremely close game. So with Lamar back and with all the additions they had, they could really be a force if things click along for them. Now moving on to thoughts on Jim Harbaugh's suspension. This was the big news earlier this week. This past Monday, Michigan self-imposed a 3-game suspension for Harbaugh, stemming from alleged violations during COVID-19. He'll make his return for Michigan's Big Ten opener September 23rd against the Rutgers. What were your thoughts? Because obviously, you mentioned this a lot about, hey, there are a lot of skeletons in the closet for some of these teams that we just never mentioned,
Yes.
but they're going to
Yes.
eventually be brought into the light. What did you think about this announcement? And just, obviously, this is a state of affairs for many college football teams, and now it's happening for Michigan.
Why
Yeah.
now? This obviously you do investigation is going to take some time, but why now? Why 2023? That was 3 years ago, right? There was past seasons ago. Why wait now to penalize your team for something they did during COVID? And every team
Hmm.
violated violated those criterias and whatever. So I just didn't understand why they do it to Harbaugh now. But I love him. I love him as a coach so much. He already has a game plan. He said everybody's going to be the head coach, not just one coach. The special teams coach is going to get it for the first week. I think the defensive coordinator is going to be the head coach the second. So he has a plan of who's going. He was like, everybody's going to be the coach. There's not going to be interim. Everybody's going to get a chance. And I love that because now that's a
Oh
dream
yeah.
of any coach on any level, is to be a head coach, right? So now they get the opportunity to do it, and he's giving them the opportunity to do it and get that experience, even if it's for like a week or a short period of time. But I asked NCAA, why now?
It's always the
Why
delays. The
not
delays
last
just
year?
they never make any sense. Like, why are you
Yes,
a 3-year delay? Come on. Like, what is that really going to
that's
do?
insane. Players have
Yeah.
graduated. The players you probably they got
They're getting the
graduated
update. Like,
already.
what?
So yeah, why now? What? Hold up. Y'all put it on me for 3 years ago? I don't know. I don't even
Yeah, I
know
don't
those
even know
kids
about
anymore.
that.
Right.
And now I'm moving on to our next topic. This has obviously been a major discussion this week. Steph Curry, greatest point guard ever discussion. He was asked this on Gilbert Arenas podcast, and confidently said that he deserved that top spot. And I don't want anybody to
Yeah.
say that they're not, like, when they're as good as Steph. I want you to say, like, yes I am. And then the news of Michael Jordan texting Stephen A. 5 for him, which also, did that really happen? Because then, like,
Weird. That's so
he
weird, bro.
said,
That is so
Savon, he
weird.
said the exact time, 5:54 in the morning. I'm not gonna tell somebody, hey, yo,
He was excited.
he
Look,
texted me at 5.
hey, 5 in the morning, said,
Come on.
Man, come on. All right. You excited Michael
You're
Jordan
geeked
text
out.
you.
You're
I
geeked out.
understand. You have him in your
But,
contacts. Whoop de doo.
but it's
Right. Doesn't mean
that's
he's
what I'm saying.
right.
And my point of this conversation is a lot of times I think the legacy and the past or something like Magic Johnson is without question top five greatest player ever.
Yes.
He came into a point when the
Yes.
league was really dying. Like David Stern, he needed somebody to take over and like bring life into the league. Like he was a star. Him and Bird, what they did,
Yes.
that is always going to be untouchable. But I think there's also a thing of
Mhm.
not also respecting what's happening now. And Steph is rewriting what the league is looking
Yes.
like. He's created a different prototype. Everything that he's done, especially when you saw that 2022 season when he was able to win the finals against the Celtics, get his finals MVP, that showed you, hey, he just didn't need a KD or this and that. Steph can do it on his own. He's not just
Right.
a guy who's dependent on somebody else.
Yes.
And I feel like that's why I would put him at that greatest point guard ever because Steph has transcended the game and he's made other players want to play like him. Even bigs want to pull up from three like Steph. But to you, what do you think about this conversation? This debate about is Steph or Magic the greatest point guard?
I thought about it for a while and I see you post about it and we
Oh yeah, that's
talked
right. Yeah,
about
we
it
did.
briefly on one of our shows. I think Steph Curry is the best point guard that ever played. And for multiple reasons. And before I get to those reasons, Magic Johnson transcended, like you said, the evolution of the point guard because he's a big
Six
guy. I
nine.
think
Yeah,
6'9", 6'10",
never seen
playing a
him
point
before.
guard, flashy. Yeah, big guy, never seen it before, flashy guy. Brung put life back into basketball. Also took it out for a little bit because of his situation, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not trying to bring that up for court. I'm just saying he brought life back for basketball. Steph Curry really changed the game, not just the position. He changed the game. Small
Oh my
ball
goodness.
is because of
Yes,
Steph Curry.
completely.
The evolution of the big is because of Steph Curry. The range is because of Steph
Right.
Curry. The penalties that they get on the
Steph.
3-point line is because of Steph Curry and James Harden a little bit. So he's changed the game. We're talking about the evolution. Magic Johnson, yes, he revived the game
That's
of
the key word.
basketball. Michael Jordan then changed the game of basketball, right? Then LeBron James changed the game of basketball. And then Steph Curry changed the game of basketball. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, they revived it. These guys changed it. Literally changed how you cover a guy. They're covering Steph at the at the,
At
at
half
the half
court,
court
they're
line.
like, get on him now. Get on him now.
Get on them now. And then you look at the plays that are called to get these guys
Yeah,
open. Started and you know, everybody say the triangle, all these plays, those were fine, but there's a lot of plays, a lot of moving screens, a lot of things that have been implemented for Steph, Clay, all these guys. But it started with
right.
Steph Curry. He's changed how people cover these guys. He's changed how to get open. Like it's so many things, and he did it at a 6'2", 6'3" frame, skinny as crap, didn't had to work his way up. He didn't come in being just crazy. His brother went to a bigger school than
That's
he
true.
did.
Yeah.
So it's all the things he had to
The
overcome.
Duke.
Yeah, he went to
Yeah.
Davidson. Brother went to Duke. Didn't know that for a while until I was like, oh, Seth went to
He
Duke?
also went to Liberty for a little bit.
But
That's
yeah,
Tyler. He went to Liberty, and I think he was there the same time Tyler.
he did. He did.
Yeah.
That's real crazy. I wonder if yeah, Tyler went to any of the games. But yeah, man, Steph Curry is the greatest point guard that ever played. He has changed the game, small ball, the evolution of bigs. It's so many things that Steph Curry has done that you cannot just negate. Obviously, everybody's going to say Magic Johnson, Lake Show. He
And the
did all
Lake
the
Show, I just
flash
want to say
that
this:
revived the
the Lake
game.
Show was unlike anything ever. I'm never. I'm not
It
gonna
wasn't.
ever. I'm when I'm saying this, it's gonna sound like, oh, you're putting down Magic in the show. No, I'm not. I'm saying what the Showtime Lakers was box office. That was like we'll never get that again. I'm just saying when we're talking about
Yes.
basketball, just basketball
Yes.
one on one in terms of what I'm seeing. Yeah, individual
Individual.
play. That's why I would give the edge to Steph.
Yes.
And I mean, I've seen him real time also.
Yes, for sure. The Lake Show revived the
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, real time. Lake Show revived the game. Steph Curry changed the game. It's simple as that. As simple as that. Basketball is where it is right now because of Steph
Definitely.
Curry.
Absolutely. And now getting on to our next topic with Sha'Carri Richardson winning the world championship 100-meter title. In her debut at Track and Field's World Athletic Championships in Budapest, Hungary on Monday, she took home the 100-meter gold. This was also a personal best time for her and championship record at 10.65 second run. This is obviously the last time we saw her. She had the loss, and a lot of the Jamaican runners. There was they kind of really relish that win for themselves, and now she's able to come back and have a really strong statement. What did you think about this for her, and also just what it means for her going forward? Kind of having that confidence boosted again.
Yeah, I'm glad she won. And just flashback when she lost against all of these ladies from Jamaica, she was like
Yeah,
19.
that's crazy.
She was a freshman in
Wow,
college. People were tearing her down, killing her. She was a 19-year-old girl, freshman year of college. Hasn't even reached her peak yet.
19, 19 guys.
That's
Come on,
insane. She 19. She has not reached her peak yet then. Look at her
Mhm.
now. I'm everybody who rooted against her, do not praise her.
Please.
Please do not praise her. You don't deserve it. And she doesn't want it
Let's go, Shikari. Let's
because y'all
go.
brung down a
I'm like,
19 year
nah,
old.
we saw what you were saying
Yeah,
last year.
yeah. Oh, she would. Yeah. No. No. Y'all didn't like what she was. She was a young girl, freshman year of college, going against
Yeah,
grown women who've been in it for years, who has the experience. This is her first time running in this big time. And look at her now. I hope she doesn't
the
lose for the
world
rest
knows.
until she's like 30. Almost beat, almost beat one of the greatest women runners of all time. No one else have gotten close to that, but she did. Put some
Give
respect
her
on
some
her name.
respect.
Let's
Give her some
go, bro.
respect.
Like, yeah, bro. I was
Yeah.
so excited. I was so excited for her because I was rooting for her from day one.
And that's a very interesting thing. Like the ebbs and flows of a young athlete, and especially her in the track arena, it's so crazy. Like what do you think that does to a mentality of a of a young person when they're that young, they're getting criticism, and they're like, "How do I bounce back? How do I get to that?" Like, what do you think about just the mentality that of the that type of person has to have to really kind of get back to this stage and show everybody again, "Hey, I'm going to be around for a long time," and that was just a blimp on my radar.
You just look at where she's from, man. You look at the background she comes from. You gotta look at adversity in its face. You gotta eat adversity like
Mhm.
its flavor.
Yeah,
Like there's so many things you have to overcome for a person like her. And she's got this colorful hair, braids, long nails, and somebody did it before her.
exactly. She's not the
And
only one.
you she's yeah, exactly. She's looked at as like she's an outcast, like she
Right.
doesn't belong. And I'm pretty sure she's felt this all her life. So to be able to work this hard, not kill the naysayers, because she's been grinding for the
Mhm.
past 2 years and everybody's been really quiet. She's been winning races back to back, 200 in the 100 meter, and now she wins the big time. Never, not everybody
Hey,
wants to praise her.
what did
Everybody was
Drake say?
quiet.
They scream out my
Yeah,
failures and whisper my accomplishments.
hey, you better understand. Drizzy Drake Yee. Drizzy. Yo,
Too
like
far from the
that's so
sea.
fitting. That's the perfect quote for her. That's a
Yeah,
perfect quote for her,
yeah,
man. Man. So I mean, just her being able to overcome and face adversity and not run from it and understand who she is. And she says that all the time. People like me, how I talk, like who I am, just remember
right.
who I am, and I love that. I love that for her. I hope she keeps this up and that she's the person to be. I hope she turns into
Go on a
Usain
roll.
Bolt, that nobody could beat her.
Go on a
She,
roll.
yeah, go on a
Yeah,
roll, go
absolutely. I
crazy.
want to. I definitely see her going a crazy run. And now transitioning to our album reviews, and our first one with Quavo's Rocket Power. In his new album, he reflects on the passing of Takeoff and where his career and life is headed. Most of the color and intrigue come from the production, and there's a couple, I think two or three songs with Takeoff actually on it. before his passing. And it's interesting because we reviewed the Infinity Links, the Quavo and Takeoff album from last year, kind of gave some thoughts on that, and also just also looking at the Migos after the breakup and seeing like which individual guy is really good and comfortable. Like to me, Offset is very comfortable being a solo artist. Takeoff had some moments.
Yeah.
Quavo to me is hit or miss. He has some moments, and and that's what I feel from
Yes.
this project. There were hit or miss. Like some parts, yeah, it was high level production. Then other parts, I feel as though it just got repetitive and redundant, almost like what we said about the Gunna album, and why it just didn't connect for me. I
Yes.
thought there were a lot of redundant parts. Not saying that there weren't some high moments, because Quavo, with the production and the producer he works with, he's going to have high moments. But I think this was a hit or miss album.
Yes.
There were some highs, but there are also some extreme lows. To you, what were your initial thoughts on this project, and just how you overall felt about
I couldn't have said it better myself. I think that's spot on, bro. It was
it?
hit and miss. There was highs and lows. There were a couple of misses with the album songs. There were a couple of misses with the songs I thought he thought that he could be single songs. But man, I just thinking about what you said about the Migos. I think Quavo
Yeah,
was the face. Takeoff was the better rapper, and I think Offset is the better
he's
solo
so
artist,
comfortable as a solo
like you
artist.
just said. Yeah, and I think he fits better. I think he gets better features that fit his style as well. Like he can. I think Offset is one of the most versatile one. And then Takeoff was the better rapper. Quavo was the face. So now you're the face. You're a solo artist. You can't withstand because those guys helped you in so many ways. Because most of the times he didn't have the best
Yeah,
verses. It was either Takeoff
yeah,
or
for sure.
Offset. And sometimes he'll sneak in there with a good verse, but he was the hook guy. He
Yeah,
was the face. So yeah, it was hit or miss. Some of these songs I'm like, okay, skip. Okay, skip. Okay, this be hard.
yeah. There were some I was like, yeah, the
Okay,
beat is
this verse.
undeniable,
I'll
but
stick it out.
overall, it didn't have. I'm not going back to this a lot.
It was a lot of ingredients missed. It wasn't seasoned. This album was never definitely seasoned. It was bland. It wasn't seasoned at all.
I
Couldn't eat it.
couldn't, man.
Uh,
I was it was
had to
earlier
send it
today,
back.
because I've listened to the album once. And I was like, do I want to re-listen to this? I was like, I think I already,
Yeah,
after one
I'm
listen. I think
okay.
there are some albums where about before we about to review it, I'm like, oh, I got to listen to this one again. This one was like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I got the message.
And I listened to it because he had
Yeah,
takeoff on it. I listened to it
Takeoff
because
was
he
so
had
special, man.
takeoff on it,
RP's
and
so special.
yeah, I enjoy
Yes,
takeoff's verses. Yeah, he
that's
made
what I'm
most of the
saying.
songs, and sometimes he was at the end. I never understood. It's like, why is takeoff at the end? Uh,
This guy is actually like the best.
he's the better rapper
He's
out of
rapping
all of
better than
them.
all y'all.
Yes, I guess say the best for last, but I don't know. But yeah, this
Nah.
wasn't it. This definitely wasn't it.
And now getting to our next album review with Reasons Porches. In his new project, it definitely captures his aspiration for greatness, and he really brings you into his world. Plus, he just has an undeniable skill in articulating experiences that set him apart. I feel as though Reason came back with a project that was very introspective. It was a lot of honesty packed into it, and I don't know if I'm gonna
Yeah,
say like, because New Beginnings is still like just so good. It's hard to top that. I can't.
we're
Yeah,
on
I
the
can't
same
even.
page.
I can't say that. I can't go there. But I think
No,
for the wait,
no,
I think it was a good project. It was reason it, like the lyricism, the flow, all of that is still really good. And there are some songs I felt, because this was a bit of a longer project for him. It was about like maybe 18 songs.
yeah.
So I was kind of surprised by that,
Hmm.
but overall, I did think this was a really good project. What did you think about this album overall, and some of the takeaways?
Yeah, oof. This hurts my heart,
Uh,
to be honest with you, because I've become a Reasons fan, and just listening to this album, I think at first I heard resemblance of Kendrick, and somehow how they mix and master and some of his beats starting off, and then you get to Reason being Reason. I think concept wise, I think he has to be better. I think it was a dope concept, but with the songs that you select and choose and you create has to be stronger. This was a dope concept. Don't get me wrong. Porches, what porches mean, it has a negative effect, but you twist it around to have a positive effect. I love that. But the songs didn't correlate to the concept. Some of the songs where I'm like, you could have
That's
left
what I
these
was
off.
saying. There was
And
some
it could have
there were a lot of filler songs.
yeah.
I was surprised. There was a lot of like excess on this album.
Yes. He should have trimmed the fat. I think he was overzealous because he's
Yeah, he
been
wanted to
out.
give fans everything.
He hasn't dropped in a long time. Yeah. And I mean, it's not like he hasn't had a presence, him dropping singles, him doing freestyles, being present on Instagram. But I think he was overzealous. He could have trimmed the fat. Some of these songs
Yeah.
didn't go. Um, some of the songs I thought he was too playful. Especially You Better. Jesus Take the Wheel. That song
You
should
didn't
never
like
made
just
it.
say, oh man.
I did
What
not like it.
it
It
was
should never made
casual.
it.
It was casual.
It was casual, it was too playful, and it really didn't add
Yeah.
anything to the
Was it
album.
necessary for the album? Yeah.
It wasn't necessary. That's what we talking about, trimming the fat. I don't think it added to the message, added to the strength of the album. So like it's like 3 songs. I looked at. I'm like, yo, he could have did without. Like gang ish. I thought he could have did without. There were some songs I was like, okay, that's the reason.
But
That's the reason.
it took too
That's the
long to like
reason.
hear the
Okay.
real reason. It's like he was trying to be like Kendrick
Yes,
the first
bro.
half, and then he's just like, okay, I'm gonna be Reason again.
Thank you. Thank you. Cause I was like, they mixed his stuff like they did
Yeah.
Kendrick stuff. Like, hmm, let him be Reason. I know he's supposed to be the new face of TDE, but let him be Reason. New Beginnings was such a beautiful project. This project, out of 5 stars, this is a
Oof.
2. This is a 2, bro. This really did not hit like I thought. The concept is amazing. He had too many songs that he could have trimmed off. His bars wasn't
What did you
there.
think?
He
What
was
going into the album? What did
lyrical.
you think we were gonna give the star from like
Remember, I
oh,
said
Notifications?
I
I
didn't
like
want to
that. Yeah,
ex
yeah.
expectations. Yeah, and I went into it, and so I was like, the first song, I'm like, I wanted to skip it, but I was like, no, give it a chance. Just go through everything.
But a
Just
warm
go
up.
through it. Cause the intro to the New Beginnings, bro, that beat, and then like, bro, and this didn't flow well. He used a lot of audio with trying to bridge the porch and the people, the sound bites and stuff.
You know what TDE artists who you know what
It did.
TDE artists who dropped a second album that didn't disappoint us? SZA.
Who's that?
She's the face of
SZA.
TDE. She's the face of TDE, bro. It's her. It's her.
She
It's
gotta
her.
be, bro.
Everybody's tried. It's her.
She's only put out 2 albums.
But they're amazing. But
She's only put
they're
out two
both
albums.
amazing. That's what
This
I'm
did not
saying.
do what I thought. Like, I was so hyped, bro. Like, yeah, this wasn't it, bro. This wasn't it. I need him to get better at the song arrangement
Mhm.
for the concept. The
Concept is
concept is
amazing,
beautiful,
bro. Yeah.
spot
Yeah.
on, marketing beautiful, but the songs have to correlate. Some of them did, like Too
Too
Much,
much was
Gina,
fire.
Family First.
I don't trust you.
I don't trust you. Like the second half. The second half is when he started being Reasons, like you said. Like that's when okay, all right, that's Reason. You're a poet, bro. You are a stronger Wale.
Mm.
You're just a more hood Wale. You're a poet, bro. You have the ability, just like Wale, to do like up tempo songs, have those radio hits. But you are a poet. Your writing and your bar ability and your voice is what makes you you. And I didn't hear no bars really. Like I just heard lyricism. Like, but yeah, man, it just wasn't okay. I'm off this. It
Yeah.
wasn't what I thought it
We
was
this
gonna
was a
be.
highly anticipated album for us. We the disappointment in your face.
Yeah.
Because guys, Savon
I was
is
so
such a
upset,
big
bro.
reason. I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating when I say this. He is, and so I was
Bro.
really, and that's the thing. We don't ever we. There have been a couple times you texted me about an album, But most of the times we don't even know what the other one thinks about it. We just go into like the
No.
last time you told me what you thought about the album was with the night the morning after Summer Walker dropped her, and you told me she's back. That was the like because that one was
Yes.
undeniable. That was like a
Yes.
classic.
Yes. Oh
That
my
one was just
goodness. I was
she's
like,
back.
yes, she's back.
So
And then I text you, hey bro, let's review New
yep,
Beginnings. Cause I finally listened to
let's
it. I
do
was
it.
like, oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
yeah.
he's next. But he got some work to do.
He's definitely got to get back in the lab, and that's it's almost like how we say that sophomore slump with a lot of artists.
Yeah.
They either have a sophomore album that is undeniable and it's just great, or they just have an album that's just it's okay, but it's nothing. It's not memorable. So
Yeah.
that's really the delineation
No.
between artists many times. And now getting to our next review with Mick Jenkins, the Patience. In this new project, there's a compelling interplay between hard hitting, impactful hip hop and gentle, soothing beats. Jenkins just possesses an intellect and fervor that shines throughout this album and his lyrics. And this was an exceptional project to me. I really enjoyed it. It sounded different because a lot of the albums this year have been there have been good albums, but there haven't been those just like amazing ones. Like, oh, I gotta go back to that. Like to me, like the Black Thought album, the Killer Mike album. Those were a couple albums that I'm like, okay, I gotta go back to that. Those were like, moment type
Yeah.
albums. But this one is another one. I feel like it can grow into that. It could be, by the end of the year, it could be one of those albums. I'm like, hey, I'm still listening to this. This is one I'm still replaying. To you overall, what did you think about this album?
Yo, this was dope. Mick Jenkins is starting to grow on me. He's not your prototypical Chicago rapper, right? And he's an MC. He's not I'm not gonna call him a rapper.
Yeah,
He's an MC. He's like that old school type of vibes. He doesn't shy away from being lyrical. And sometimes he'll throw some bars in there, but he's more lyrical, more aggressive, and trying to be different, more aggressive in his beat selection. I love this beat selection. There's a couple of songs I'm like, yo, you, and then he slides on them, and
he
he
does.
slide like it's so interesting. I know he can do any other type of rapping, and yeah, he's gonna be type of rapper that grows on people. And this album is gonna grow on some people as well. It's growing on me. Like the first listen, I was like, this is cool. Like this is hip hop. Like he's very lyrical. He know how to punch, and he doesn't really do a lot of ad libs. Like yeah, he's the type of rapper who's gonna have to grow on you, but once he does, you're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
become a fan. And I'm going back. I've got some like Carefree, that album I listened to. Got a couple songs I listened to, but I'm starting to go back and listen to all his older
Mhm.
tracks and like trying to like get him in my system because he's
He
dope.
is. This guy is really good. Like you said, the beats that are picked for him coincide with his voice and what works for him. And that's a lot of times. A lot of
Yes.
artists. I'm not gonna say a lot, but there's some artists you can just tell the beat selection does not go with their voice. It doesn't match. As we've talked about sometimes with different reviews.
Yes.
And like you said, like, do you think he's gonna be one of those artists that, like you said, can almost every album delve into something different, maybe a different sound, because it really feels as though like he has that type of just talent that he can really diversify his skill set and kind of go into any type of lane he wants to.
Oh, for sure. And I think he's this style he's been doing for a while. Like since he's like he said in 2004, he ain't changed it. He ain't changed that much. So I think he's been doing this for a
Yeah.
long time. And I think with this sound, it's gonna take a long time for people to like, jump on the bandwagon and become a true fan. And I think he's so consistent. I think he's gonna be underrated for a while because of
Mhm.
how he raps, his style of rap. He doesn't have any like radio
Right.
tracks.
Yeah.
It's
Not
more so
commercial.
straight hip hop. Him singing, yeah, not commercial. If he does sing, like it's more of like like them old, like how old
Yes.
school dudes be singing on tracks or whatever. And that's Smoke Break Dance was fire. JID, man, his verse was nasty. His verse was really nasty.
JID, his last the
Another
Forever Story. I still listen to it. I still listen to it.
Yeah, that's fire. That one was definitely fire. That boy is just gifted. He can do any and everything on the track, and he finds different ways to just bring it out. I'm baffled
Yeah,
at times. Sometimes I'm thinking I'm gifted because I find certain ways, but this man has a bag that is rare to some people in the world. He has a bag of tricks. It does. I've never heard him on a track use the same type of cadence, same type of. It's always something different when he raps. It's not the same thing. Even in his long track, like his long albums, he always finds something different. Anywho, but yeah, this Mick Jenkins album was, I think it was
yeah.
solid, and I think I got to listen to it a couple more times to like get it in my
Definitely, man.
system.
An exceptional album. And now interesting to our next view with Maeta is When I Hear Your Name. In her latest project from back in June, featuring production from Pharrell and Kaytranada, she takes us back to the bare bones of R&B and her sultry Love Drenched project. And, you know, I think the last time we reviewed something from Maeta was her EP about from last year, and then with this album, man, like I've been looking for like some R&B albums to like really enjoy. This is one I'm going to like be playing a lot. I think Maeta is just
Yes.
she's a talent. She's an exceptional talent, bro, and I think every feature on here where she just alone as a forget the features, she alone as an artist is just so intriguing. She her voice, the tone of just the soundscape is always just so precise. Everything the production just always sounds precise with her EPs and her albums. It just everything
Hmm.
just sounds on point. To
Yes.
you overall, what did you think about this album and some of your main thoughts?
You put me on her. That EP, that's my first time listening to it. I've been saving a bunch of her music. I think this album was very dope, bro. Especially that the one Free Nationals that she did live. I was like, oh, she can sing like that? She could break it down and sing like that? Wow. Yeah, she has range. She's versatile. Like even her up tempo songs are just crazy. And I love her writing ability too. Like I love the concept she brings and her writing ability and being special with being able to perform with live bands and make music with live bands as well as writing with dope producer. Yes. And she was sounded so good, bro. And it sounded effortless. Like this is yeah, man. She's gifted. She's very talented. This album was dope. Yeah, and it worked. It hit. Like sometimes artists will experiment, and we've talked about this several times, and it doesn't hit. And I mean that's what experiments are. You're trying to see what works and what doesn't work. And she just it. I don't think she can miss right now. Like her sound is so beautiful. It is. Like this album was, yeah, this got saved. And yeah, this is gonna be on play. This is emotion. She's gonna completely grow. I think next is the fan base. I think she's still under the radar a little bit because I didn't know about it until obviously brought it to the forefront for me. And I think that's next. I mean, she has a good formula. She's in the bag. Oh, we lost connection. Now we're reconnecting. Sorry. Wi-Fi is going crazy. Yeah, we're back. Sorry. But no, I think that's definitely next. Her fan base growing because she has the formula. She has the right sound. She's versatile. She's beautiful. Her writing ability and her writers around her are really good. So yeah, that's the next thing. It's her growing and become a household name. Yes. Yeah, like now we just got to grow your fan base a little more. Ooh, that's good. I don't think it's a single song. Um, I think she reached her peak. Though. She reached her peak. She hit her ceiling. She sounds the same now. She's been sounding like this since like 2015. Yeah, 14, 15. Like I used to listen to her on what's the streaming service that used to have all the commercials? Pandora. Yeah, which is still around, bro. Which is still around. Yo, right. LeBron James still listen to Pandora. Talking about I ain't about to pay for those streaming service. Bro, it's $6, bro. Say you went to college. We know you didn't know, man. I still use mine. I get 49.99. I still use my my college stuff. But anywho, yeah, I mean, I think she reached it, bro. It's the same sound. And I don't think she can do anything else. It's the same production, same type of production, same angelic harmonic sound with a little techno stuff in there. Just not techno, but you know what I mean, like those like synthetic beats or whatever. It's the same thing. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, but it was like it wasn't like it's the same thing. Like if I turn on a song of hers, it's going to sound the same. There's no distinction of the music. I will say this: nobody sounds like her. Nobody sounds like her, but it's the same thing. It's like, okay, I know what I'm going to get. I don't have to have expectations because they're already expected for me because you do the same type of music every time you release it. Be- because she finds different melodies. She actually be singing though, and her writing. I think it's her writing that we love so much. Like I don't. I want you around, but I don't want you around. Like it's like I don't know, bro. It's like her writing abilities is crazy, and she writes most of her music, and she can sing better than Alina. Okay, yeah. I mean, where are you? Come on, you keep yeah forever. Yeah, it's probably gonna be like a whole layout. She has the. I don't think she has that following just yet for her to keep dropping albums. Yeah, she keep dropping some fire bangers, man. Yes, bro. Uh, October, bro. It's gonna be in October, and I think he did. Obviously, his promotion, even if everybody's gonna listen to it anyways. Yeah, and then his son did the drawing. Yeah, the cover art of it. Like I don't need. I don't even think it's that, bro. Because the last cup five cover arts were like so lazy. One is a girl with just smiling with her teeth, and then yeah, man, it's lazy though. It's lazy. Like the past five, like even him on top of well, no, that was fire, but it was lazy. It was lazy though. They just photoshopped him on top of there. That was but the cover, I'm talking about like the cover art hasn't been like crazy. Like he's been super lazy. But I do like the fact that he was like, you know what, Adonis? And it probably didn't happen. He didn't probably didn't tell him to do it. He probably like, Dad, look at this. He was like, oh, okay. I like it, son. I like it so much I'll use it as my cover art. I love your daughters, but nah, I think it's dope. I think that was really dope. I'm excited. I'm excited about the album. Yeah, October. Yeah, yeah. He playing some crazy songs, bro. Yes, bro. But I like the walkouts, bro. The ring walk. That's nobody has ever done that in rap or hip hop.